Guys, welcome to the channel. It's me, Shon-Jhon. Thank you for hitting the channel up. Hit thumbs up, hit subscribe. Welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna have a really cool discussion. I say discussion because I like your feedback. I like your comments. I like to know what you guys think. You might have a different opinion. Something opposed to what I think, what I believe, and what my actions and habits and principles are, what my mindset is. And that's okay because I'm open to it. I like to hear it. That's why we can have some dialogue. And you guys might say something that changes my perspective. And so I hope to say something that changes your perspective, especially if poverty is something that has been present in your life, whether you're like me, it's been passed down to you and you now possess it, or I was possessing it, right? And then the danger is that now you have to turn around and pass it down to your family and friends. So we don't want to be in that position. We don't want poverty to dominate our lives. So we're going to talk about just a few things about poverty that I know that you probably don't know or that you probably don't think about. But I think about this all the time because for the most part of my life, I've dated poverty. I've been engaged to poverty, and I even married poverty. And it wasn't until 2020 that I divorced myself from poverty. So I would like for you guys to think about filing for divorce, right? Filing for a divorce from poverty so that you don't pass this down to your family and friends. So it's hard for us. So why would we want to give it to those we love and care about, right? Especially if you sincerely love and care about them, right? And I'm going to try to get through this video. We do have kids in the house today. So I'm doing this from the office, but there are kids all over the place just for the holidays. So by the way, I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed 4th of July week, right? And stay safe, come back and get some good content. So I didn't even know if I would get to even post videos this week because of family and whatnot and vacation time and whatnot. So, but I'm fortunate to be able to get on here just a few minutes. So again, it's not going to be a long video, but it's always a joy to get on here and share some things with you. So if poverty is something you've experienced or whether it's been passed down to you, it's been something that has been a part of your life for any amount of time, then you know it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I know it too. And so I do everything I can to prevent poverty from creeping back into my life. I've had it long enough. I've dealt with it long enough. I've accepted it long enough. No more. Time out from poverty. Again, you guys have to divorce yourself from poverty outcomes. And so a lot of that starts with changing your mind, changing your fundamentals, changing the principles that you operate and evaluate things based on, right? And so what I'm going to share with you today is just a few ideas that you are welcome and free to use that can hopefully help you to prevent yourself from being in poverty and worst of all, passing it to someone else. So let me introduce you to the idea that you have to actually hate poverty. It's not something that you can get along with. It's not something that you can tolerate, right? It's not something that you can kind of find a gray area and you can kind of be around each other. No. We have to H-A-T-E poverty. We have to actually hate, capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E, poverty, right? And so if you can develop in your mind the mindset to hate poverty, even on a subconscious level, I promise you it's going to change your life and do some good in your life, and not just for you, for everyone around you. So if you're ready to learn just a few things about, hating poverty, here's a couple things I got on the board behind me, and we'll go over them really quickly. But I promise you, one of the best things that can happen to you and one of the best things that happened to me is I learned to hate poverty. So when I'm around people and we're having conversations about being poor, no way, time out, that's got to go. I've divorced myself from poverty. I don't want a relationship with poverty. I don't even want to talk about poverty. I hate it that much, right? And so you guys, a lot of you guys are obsessed with hating the rich and hating rich people. But you can't be that way or you're never going to become something you hate. So you're going to have to learn to hate the things you don't want to become and then love the things you want to become. So I'm good with being rich. I love the idea of being rich. I love the idea of making millions of dollars a year one day, right? What I don't love is the idea of not knowing how my bill's going to get paid, not knowing if I'm going to have to pack my family up in the middle of the night because we've been evicted. I've been there, right? Not knowing where the next dollar is going to come from to feed the family. So I don't want that kind of stress. I don't want to live that way, and I know you guys don't either. So smash subscribe, smash thumbs up, welcome to the channel. Let's dive into it really quickly. So I got a couple things on the board. We're going to talk about the idea of hating poverty. So if you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. If you agree or get any value from my videos, smash thumbs up. And like I always say, if you guys want to learn how to start a middleman business from your phone, working from home without having to do any hard work, you just book customers for other businesses, take deposits, that's your money, 150 on average, and then dispatch the work to other companies and they go out and do the work. You don't actually do the work. So think of Uber. Uber books rideshare jobs, so they connect riders with drivers. But Uber doesn't do any of that work. They simply connect someone who needs a ride with someone who has a car, and they connect the two, and then Uber gets paid for finding that customer, for that rider, right? And so we essentially do the same. We don't do the work. I've been doing it since 2020. That's why I don't have to deal with some of the things we're going to talk about on the board. But I do realize there's a lot of people out there who do. And so hopefully this helps you, right? So if you guys are ready, smash thumbs up. Let's get into it. And if you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. In fact, I encourage it. So let's get to it. Poverty, right? So I told you in the beginning, you cannot tolerate poverty in your life, in your mindset. It cannot exist. You must hate it. You must be obsessed with eradicating it. You must be obsessed with getting it out of your mindset, getting it out of your life, getting it out of your hands. A lot of you guys, number one, first thing we're going to talk about is your hands, right? Because you guys like to go to work, right? And so poverty mindset is believing that time equals money. If you believe that time equals money, then you're on your pathway to eternal lifetime of poverty. How do I know that? Because you're working with a limited resource, number one, which is your time. So as long as you have time, you can sell it for money. The problem is you're going to run out of it, right? And so your energy, you're going to run out of that, right? I'm getting older now. Some days I wake up out of bed and it feels like I've been in a UFC fight. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm asking my wife, like, did I get into a brawl while I was sleeping? What the heck happened? I'm hurting everywhere, right? And so as you get older, your body's going to adjust differently, right? So if you believe that time equals money, then you're going to go through life with that warped mindset, believing that time equals money, which is going to require you or give you the approval to, that's a better way to say it, trade your time for money consistently. And I'm here to tell you that if you believe that the only way you can make money is by selling your time, then you're on your pathway to poverty if you aren't already there. Chances are, if you're not there, you're very close to it because you're dealing with a limited resource. So trading time for money makes you a paycheck slave. Now you're a slave to the paycheck. Why? Because the paycheck requires your time. You said yourself that time equals money. So your belief is that if you sell your time, they'll give you a paycheck, money, right? Which makes you a paycheck slave to the job. You never have freedom as long as you are selling your time for money. You never hear the rich and the wealthy talking about needing a job. You never hear the rich and the wealthy talking about the need to trade time for money. You never hear the rich and the wealthy talking about the need to have a paycheck. You know why? Because the rich and the wealthy understand that the true financial blessing, the true financial gift, the true reward is to have money and not have to sell your time. Where a poverty mindset is sell my time for money. And again, how does that keep you in poverty? Because time is your most valuable commodity on this earth. As long as you're selling it, you don't own it. The more you sell, the less you own. And I got news for you. Your time is your life. So you can say you're trading your life for money for a paycheck, which makes you a slave. So you got to get out of that or you're going to trade your entire life before you know it, right? Like our parents and grandparents did. Not throwing shade at them. I got you. But I'm just saying our parents and grandparents sold their entire lives for a paycheck. And they got this thing called, retirement and benefits and stuff like that. Whereas today, if you're under 50, you won't have any of that. That stuff won't exist for you. So if you're under 50, there's going to be no retirement for you. There's going to be no guaranteed pensions for you. Won't be there. And I'm just telling you straight up. And even if I'm wrong, act like I'm right. Think like I'm right, right? To be prepared. I'd rather have and not need than to need and not have. That's just me. And so as long as you believe time equals money, you're going to sell your time for a paycheck, which makes you a paycheck slave. The worst part isn't even the paycheck. The worst part is that the time is actually your life. You're essentially selling your life for a paycheck. You're selling 40, 50 hours a week, even the hours that you're supposed to have to yourself on the weekends. Because you can't make ends meet, you have to sell that too. All of a sudden, your life has passed you by and you don't have any other time left to sell. Well, I'm 70 years old. I know. Do you have any time? Well, I got a little bit of time. Do you have the energy to go with that time so Walmart can buy it from you? Well, I don't have the energy. I'm sore here. My hips here. I can't stand. See? Then you missed it. You're at the end of your life. There's nothing else you can do. You missed your opportunity. That's why I'm so big on opportunities. Please don't miss opportunities, right? Let's talk about another one real quick. And I'm not doing this to hurt your feelings. I'm doing this to wake you up. I've done this too. I've been poor a long time. I always say this jokingly, but I mean it. If you want to find the poorest people, find the people who work the hardest. You'll always find the poor people at the bottom of the employment pyramid, right? They always work the hardest. Who's working the hardest at your job? Okay. Who makes the least at your job? Exactly. The harder you work, the least amount of money you work. The less work you do, the more money you make. You guys are at the bottom. If you're at Amazon, you're running these packages and blah, blah, blah. You're working hard in this warehouse, probably make the least amount of money. There's a manager who's not on the trucks, not jumping over gates, running from dogs or anything like that. They're making more than you. And then there's someone over the manager who's not even doing what the manager does, and they make more than the manager. And then there's someone who's a CEO or operations manager, and they make more than that person. And then there's someone who's the owner of the company, and you never even see, and they make more than that person. So the higher up you go in the workplace pyramid is because every job's a pyramid. Every job, every business is a pyramid. There's upper management, middle management, and then you, always. So you want to get as high as you can, right? But the person doing the least amount of work, typically that's the person making the most money. Today, since 2020, I rarely do any hard work. It's the most money I've ever made running my own company from my phone. It doesn't get much easier than booking customers on your phone and getting paid. That's the easiest work I've done. I've made money doing other things where I've broken my back, worn myself down, physically exhausted, paycheck to paycheck. And when I learned that, hey, wait a second, you don't have to, there's no universal law, no biblical principle that says you have to work hard. Just not there. It's not true. You can listen to the top G tell you that you got to work hard. It's not true. It's not there. In fact, the people who are living their best lives, they're the ones who are not working the hardest. So the people who are living their best lives, these are the people who are not, and think about what I'm saying, because if I'm wrong about it, that'd be something different, right? But just think about it. For those who are working the hardest, they're the ones not making the money. Well, I always give this example, right? And my students can tell you. And by the way, for all my students, we're getting ready to start not only one-on-one coaching sessions, because you guys know we're already doing that for everybody. For everybody that's new that got into the course over the weekend and last week, just a heads up. Soon I give you guys about a week or two to go through the course. I'm not rushing you because I need you to get that information. And whenever you're done, I do understand a lot of students have jobs, and I encourage you to keep your day job until we replace that. And then you can quit your day job, but be nice about it. So we give you a couple of weeks to be able to go through that. And as soon as we go through that, you'll start the one-on-one coaching. And then after that, we're going to get into the group coachings too. So you get access to all of that. So my goal, somebody asked the other day, is like, what are you trying to accomplish with this? First of all, I had no intentions of teaching people how to build a middleman business. I was just doing it for myself. And then after I got on YouTube and started talking about finances, I was like, I wonder if there's anyone out there who would like to do this. And I put it out there and students started signing up way faster than I anticipated, which is a good problem to have. But it became a problem now because we're getting a bunch of students and I do a lot of one-on-one coaching so I can answer your questions and make sure you win. And I realized about a week ago that I'm not going to be able to coach everybody the way I want to if I keep letting people in. So I've limited it. If you don't get in very quickly, you're going to have to wait until next year. But my goal is to teach people how to build a business from their phone and try to get you to $10,000 a month in the first 3 to 6 months. If you do what I tell you to do, we can get there. I promise you that. So 10,000 is not a lot, but the good news is you get to do it from home. You don't have to go to work. So somebody said I just signed up Friday. Hey Prince, I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to working with you. I think I saw your enrollment. So that's going to be exciting. Usually I don't get all that information. Cynthia does. But I think I did see yours for Friday, yours and a few others. As soon as you finish the training, we're going to go into it and we're going to start building your business. And so we got some cool stuff coming up. So if you guys want to learn how to start a business from your phone like Prince, all you have to do is go to the video description below, get into the masterclass, or just put the word middleman in the comments, and you guys can go ahead and get started. I always say, what are you working on now that's going to create $5,000-$10,000 a month for you in the next few months? If the answer is nothing and you don't know what to do, then get into the class. If we have openings, we'll let you in. If not, you guys have to wait till 2025, which I don't recommend. So, but let's talk about it. So I'm not going to hold you up because, again, one of the big things, let me get my other colors. One of the big things that get people into a lot of trouble, I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate that, is, again, trading time for money, believing that the only way you're going to make money is by selling time. Think about this. This is so important. I could stay on this for an hour. If I could just change this one thing for you, get you to understand that it's a loss. You're losing by selling your time for money. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to walk into your boss and say, hey, let this guy on YouTube in a Looney Tunes hoodie and a pink hat told me that I should not trade time for money, so I got to quit this job. Don't do that. I would never tell you to quit your job until your business or your side hustle income replaces that. Otherwise, we're going to keep our jobs, and then one day we're going to replace it. But keep your income. We don't want to have any income. We want to have that. So, but we need to understand that as long as you trade time for money, you're going to sell your life for a paycheck. Now you're a slave to a paycheck, which is no good. If this is giving you value, smash the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Secondly, comfortable, right? One of the things that really kept me in trouble financially is I was in my comfort zone. I was in my comfort zone being broke. What do you mean you can be in your comfort zone being broke? That's what I was. What is your comfort zone? Where are you? Whatever you set. So the comfort zone kind of works like a thermostat for a house, right? So it's hot outside here in Dallas. You'll set your thermostat to 70, 72. Just hear me out. And just listen. So you'll set your thermostat to 72. So what happens when the temperature in the house heats up to 73? Thermostat kicks in. What does it do? It regulates. The thermostat says, wait, I detected the temperature is a degree off. You're telling me to be on 72. This house is 73. We got to kick in. Everything kicks in. The loud AC outside kicks in. And what does it do? It drops that temperature back to 73. Why? Because that's your comfort zone. You were set at that level. You ever wonder why lottery winners win millions of dollars and then you check back with them in 3 to 5 years, they're broke? You know why? Because they have a built-in financial thermostat. And the worst part is it's in their subconscious and they don't even know it. You don't even know it. You don't know you're going through life trading time for money. You never thought about it. You don't know your comfort zone is killing you. You never thought about it. But I'm here to wake you up and tell you it's killing you. I'm here to wake you up and tell you if you go through life thinking the answer is to sell your time for money, you're going to end up in poverty. And worst of all, you're going to pass this down to somebody else. You're either going to pass it down or pass it around. Either way, it's no good and you don't want it, right? So you're going to be comfortable. You're going to say, wherever I am, I'm comfortable. I'm making, $2,000 a month. I'll find a way to make it work. We start saying words that compromise our mindsets, right? That compromise our goals. Most of all, we start saying things that compromise our potential. You're making $30,000 a year, $40,000, $50,000 a year, which today is nothing, pretty much. Sadly, I wish it was something, but it's nothing. It's crazy. Inflation went up, salaries went down. I know you guys are saying, but Shon, my salary didn't go down. I still make the same 50. Again, you're looking at the number on your check. You're looking at the quantity not the quality. The quality of your check says your $50,000 check can only buy $40,000 worth of goods now. Whereas a few years ago, it could buy $50,000 worth. So don't look at the number, look at the quality, the buying power. So when you say my check's still the same, I say no, it couldn't be the same, because if inflation goes up, your buying power has to go down. Again, stop looking at the number on the check and look at the quality of the check, the potential of the check. Why can't my check buy, okay, go to the grocery store, right? Think about this. A couple years ago, your $1,000 out of your check could pay your rent. Now, that $1,000 needs another $500 to pay the same rent in the same apartment, in the same community, on the same street, on the same block with the same address, same carpet, same walls, same roof, same noisy neighbors, same dusty hallway, right? Same appliances, same everything. Nothing changed in the house, but your rent went up. Now, I can understand if you brought in some new things and I got to pay for the cost of those things, but they do raise the level of my lifestyle. But I'm looking at the same crappy refrigerator I had 2 years ago. I'm looking at the same oven that just smokes up the place. I'm looking at the same dishwasher that I'm scared to touch, right? I don't even know how this thing works. It makes so much noise. I don't even touch it. And the value, so that shows you that the value is what's important, not the number. That's how you get fooled, not the number. So your comfort zone, you guys are comfortable. Your thermostat kicks in and say, hey, I'm not making enough money, but I'll manage it. I'll make a way for it to work. The person that wins the lottery, comfort zone kicks in, brings them back down to a level they're comfortable at, right? You guys get somebody bless you with $1,000. What do? You go spend it because you got to get back to your comfort level. And the crazy part is you don't even think about this. It's just planted in your brain. It's planted in your mindset. So you don't even have to think about, wait a minute, why am I spending this just to spend it? It's automatic for you. It's automated. It's programmed. When you get that paycheck, it's automated that it's going to show up in your bank account through direct deposit. The banks know that. That's why they don't pay you interest, but we're not going to get into that. They used to have to bribe your dad and your mom and your grandparents because they had paper checks. They could go anywhere and cash those checks. The bank said, we need that money so we can get rich. We'll pay you to open that account. Oh, now they do direct deposit? There's no cashing checks anywhere else. There's no paper checks. They'll just put it in here and leave it. Okay, 0% interest, but that's a discussion for another day. Let me get some water. I hear the kids playing the guitar in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that, so we're blessed with some music. If that's what they're doing, God knows what they're doing. But that's one reason I love having a middleman business, because I never have to leave the house. I never have to leave this office. I can spend all day with the kids. I can do whatever I want to do. And that's not a brag, because I used to do what you do. I used to work 9 to 5, just like Prince was on here. And he just enrolled in the Masterclass this weekend. Well, my goal is to change this person's life, right? Change their lives, put them in a position, help them to get in a position step by step where they can make money from the phone and one day quit a business, one day quit their job, and work on their business and maintain their business. And if you think this is great, wait until you see what I got next in store. Not here. It's something else just for students. It's going to blow your mind and change your life. I discussed it with 2 students. They were so excited they were almost in tears. But I can't teach you yet, Prince. You're going to learn it in the next 6 months. This might be something that even goes into January, but I promise you it's going to change your life forever. I even told one of my students, I said, hey, we're going to have to seriously start talking about having $1 million business. And he said, you are so right. Because the way we're going to design this business, you won't have a choice. I'm ready to tell somebody else about it, Prince. Let somebody know about this channel and about what we're doing so we can change people's lives. By the way, we are limited. I am limiting how many students I can take because I realize I'm going to probably have too many people where I can't spend one-on-one. And it's more important for me to spend one-on-one to help everybody build their business than it is for me to have a bunch of students. So we're going to limit it. You better get in quickly, or you're going to be waiting until next year. Put middleman in the comments. Or just check the video description below so you can learn how to start a business from your phone. So get out of that comfort zone, because that comfort zone is going to drive your decision making. Appreciate it. That comfort zone is going to drive your decision making, right? Without you even understanding it. When somebody comes along and say, hey, you're going to have to leave this comfort zone behind. Think about it. Where do poor people reside? Right? Where do poor people reside? In their comfort zone. You could even find people that are living in the streets, living under bridges, living in tents. If you don't think they're comfortable, they're out there building 5-star hotels under bridges. I've seen it. And I'm not being mean. You guys have seen it. You pass by a homeless camp and say, holy cow, like this, there's some architect. It's got to be an engineer in this camp. Who's building it? Who's putting this together? Right? And then you think, but why would you want to do that? Because they're, without even thinking, in their comfort zones. See, your comfort zone is outside of that. You would never be comfortable in that position, but they are. Subconsciously, without even thinking about it, they go, since I'm in this position, I'm not going to do anything to get out of this position. Let me make this position more comfortable. And then they stay in nothingness because it's comfortable. And for a lot of you, you're at a job that you shouldn't be at. You should have left that job a long time ago, but you're comfortable. And they help you to become comfortable. They put coffee in the break room. It's free. They give you your own parking space. They give you these rewards every month. They give you this thing every week or every 2 weeks that just rob you of all your potential. Or they call things, paychecks. And they just keep you coming back. And you get comfortable there and you put your dreams aside because they give you a paycheck. You put your aspirations aside because they give you a paycheck. You put all the potential God is giving you to come into this world and do something great. You sell it. You put it aside for the thing called a paycheck. That's why I keep telling you, I'm not against paychecks, but you need to understand a paycheck is dangerous. It'll rob you. It'll rob you of your potential, your goals, your future, your legacy. It'll rob you of all of that if you let it. I'm here to wake you up and take you from the 90% to the 10% and say, wait a minute, I don't think like that anymore. No, you're not just going to buy my time and think this is it. I'm here for now. I need my paycheck, but I'm working on something and you won't be able to buy my time much longer. You can't afford it. Right? Yeah, I'm in my comfort zone and I realize that's where I've been, but I don't want to be there because I don't want poverty for my future or for my kids. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. And what does that mean? I'm going to seek discomfort. A lot of you won't go out and seek discomfort. I dare you to seek it, meaning go chase it down. Don't let it chase you down. You go hunt it down. You're the predator. It's the prey. Stop allowing yourself to be the prey while your comfort zone is the predator, hunting you down, destroying you, destroying your family, destroying 50 years of your life and your legacy in the future. Your comfort zone has beaten you down so much, you don't even think about your kids' future. You sure don't think about your kids' future. But I do. I think about 50 years from now. I think about 100 years from now when I'm not here. Right? What can I teach these kids today? Show them today that when I'm long gone from this world, they'll still be okay. You need to think that way. So seek discomfort, destroy it. You become the predator and stop being the prey. Last thing I'm going to let you guys go. Lack. You guys love the lack lifestyle. You love living in lack. That's a poverty mindset. Lack means never enough. You guys become comfortable with never, ever having enough because you live in a lack mindset, which gives you a lack lifestyle. There's never enough. There's never an abundance. And that's not even a biblical principle. A biblical principle is there's always an abundance. Always an abundance. Don't believe me? I'll show you, right? So I'll use a scripture real quick. So I remember there was a time when Jesus came out and the disciples were there and he had been teaching people, I don't know how long, could have been for days. And the people were hungry. They had run out of food. They had nothing to eat. This was the time he fed 5,000, but it was more than that because the Bible didn't count women and children. And so they were tired. And the disciples came up and the disciple says, hey, Lord, look, these people are hungry, but we got nothing to feed them. And he says, what do you have? And he said, well, if we look around and just, 2 fish and 5 loaves. And he said, well, give that to me. So he takes it, breaks it, blesses it. There's a lesson there, and he distributes it. And it's a miracle that he was able to take that and everybody was able to eat from it. It was a miracle that everybody was able to eat from it and were full. Right? How do we know they were full? Because there were leftovers. It's a miracle for him to be able to take that and feed all those people. That's a miracle within itself. And for all of them to be full, that's a miracle within itself. But it didn't stop there. It went beyond that. To what? Leftovers. Well, how's leftovers a miracle? Because leftovers is the opposite of lack. It's an abundance. It was more than they needed. It was more than they could handle. It was more than what was even necessary. And it was still provided. An abundance. So he not only took care of their need that day, he took care of their need for the next day with one miracle, an abundance. So we have to stop living with a lack mindset and experiencing a lack lifestyle. And by the way, guys, if this is giving you any value and you agree with anything I'm saying, smash the thumbs up to let me know. If you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. But we have got to get out of the lack lifestyle. The reason we struggle, because of what we believe. The reason we don't have 6 figures in our bank account easily, because of what we believe. The reason you're not rich today, and rich is relative, I'll tell you how I define rich. When it comes to money, I think 250 grand a year or more is rich. Reason I do, because every 4 years, that's $1 million. You make 250 a year, you're good. You can almost live where you want to, drive what you want. You're going to have a good life. To me, that's rich. I know it's a relative term, but to me, that's rich. But what's more important than the money? The freedom, not trading time for money. That's more important than the money. How do I know? Because time is more valuable than money. How much more valuable, Sean? 1 billion times more valuable? Get out of here. What do you mean time is 1 billion times more valuable than money? That's stupid. That's impossible. I would trade time for $1 billion any day. Would you? Well, let's take you up on that offer. Let's say, because I told you time is life, so you can say time is money or you can say life is money. You just break it down into hours and sell it, right? You just distribute it. Let's say somebody wrote you a check for the $1 billion that you said is more important than time. Somebody wrote you a check for the $1 billion and it's going to cash. Bill Gates wrote it, so you know it's good. And you're going to take it down to the bank and cash it. They don't need ID. They don't need anything. They just need you to walk through the door, back your car up. They're going to load $1 billion into your car. All yours, cash money. But here's the catch. Because you said the $1 billion is more important than time. Here's the catch. Because the $1 billion is going to solve all your financial issues. Right? But here's the catch. As soon as you cash the check, you run out of time. You die. Now, with that being said, who is going to cash the check? But wait, you just told me that time is not worth $1 billion. $1 billion is more important than time. And I just proved to you, or I think I did, that no amount of money, zero amount of money is worth your time, ever. Does that mean quit your job tomorrow? No, don't do that. That would be foolish. What I recommend is finding another way to make money when you're not at work, so that one day you're going to make enough money to replace your earned income on your job. As soon as you're able to replace it, then you leave it behind very nicely, very respectfully, very peacefully. Right? We're professionals. We're CEOs. That's why this channel, it talks about you building a business as a CEO. We're going to do everything as a CEO. We're going to be respectful. Hey, look, I appreciate the job. It helped provide for my family. I really appreciate it, guys. But I have something on my own. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for everything. I'm out. Peace. Right? And that's how you separate. But until you guys get serious about filing for divorce from the idea or the concept that time equals money, which makes you a paycheck slave, you're gonna be headed towards poverty. You're on the poverty fast lane. Until you guys divorce from the idea that being comfortable is how to live and learn to seek discomfort, destroy it, you're gonna be the fast lane to poverty. Until you guys learn that living in lack is not something you should be experiencing, you should be living in abundance, and your lifestyle should represent that, which means you're going to go from the lifestyle of never having enough to having an abundance. You always have enough. You always have what you need. Sure, there's going to be some times in life where we can't predict it and life's just going to throw us a curveball, but that's just life. But in the meantime, control what you can control. The fact that you're not making the amount of money that you should be making because of the potential you were given in this world, came into this world with, and you're probably going to leave this world never experiencing that potential and living a very frustrated life. And worst of all, you pass it down to somebody else. So when you leave this world, somebody else has got to inherit your poverty mindset, your poverty principles. That should make you mad. That should upset you. That should frustrate you. That should make you angry. That should make you hate poverty. So until you learn how to hate poverty, right? And this is just a few examples. You guys are welcome to screenshot it. I approve. But until you guys learn how to hate poverty, your life's not going to change. You've got to get in position where you hate poverty. I hate poverty. I'll beat it away from my doorstep every chance I get. If my friends call me talking about poverty, out the door. Got to go. You got to go. Like Martin said, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. If my family calls me talking about poverty, got to go. I don't want to hear about who doesn't have it. I don't want to have those conversations anymore. Watch a video, learn. Hey, it's life, it's struggle life. I'm not hashtagging poverty. I'm not participating in the rat race anymore. I'm not participating in the struggle life anymore. I don't want poverty in my life as a recipe of how my future is going to look anymore. Time out. I've divorced myself from these outcomes. The way that I did it, I just changed the input. And now I get a different output. So again, if you're not liking the output, change the input. Right? And so I hope that I said something today, I sincerely do, that changes your life. I hope I said something today that blesses you and reprograms your mindset. Somebody said I should put this in a book. I probably will one day. But again, you're getting a peek at how I think. And here's the kicker. I've only been thinking this way since 2020. I had a poor mindset too. I was comfortable too. I was trading time for money too. I was living in lack and okay with it too. I could manage some lack. Ooh, man. Yeah, don't have enough. I expected not to have enough. I already got a plan for the not enough. I already know what to do with the not enough. I'm so comfortable in this poverty environment, you can't get me out of it. No, hey, there's a chance you could be doing something different. No, I'm going to sit on this couch and watch some TV. Yeah, I put in 40 hours this week. I'm going to watch some football all weekend. I'm good with this poverty. I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but that's what I was saying by my actions. And so I challenge each and every one of you to do three things. Stop trading time for money. Get out of your comfort zone. And stop living a life of lack. You've got to be reprogrammed, and I hope that this is the beginning for some of you, right? I'm no different than you. I've struggled. I've been there. I've done it. It ain't fun. It ain't pretty. You don't want to do it. I hope that you guys take advantage of the opportunity you have here today. Not me, the opportunity to live and breathe another day that good Lord has given you. Do something with it while you still can, because one day you're going to run out of time. Do it now while you still can. If you want to start a middleman business, booking customers, taking deposit, dispatching the work to someone else, you're simply finding customers for other businesses, taking a commission to find the customers, and then sending the work to someone else. If you find, like for me, I appreciate all the thumbs up, by the way, guys. I appreciate it. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. My goal is to get this channel to 2,500 very soon. So if you guys can help me with that, I appreciate that. I had no idea 500 people would care, but now, hey, let's keep going. We're going to change some lives. But if you want to build a middleman business, put middleman in the comments below under any of the videos, or go into the video description, click the link, get into the masterclass, start working with me one-on-one, working with other students. And just like Prince said, and so many others that are in the class, I appreciate you guys. I cannot wait to spend time with you and help you to build your business. I have a great time doing it. But if you want to get into it, go quickly. It's limited on how many people can get in it. Please don't miss it. It's going to change your life. Let me teach you how to make $10,000 per month and keep it that way and even go higher within the next 3 to 6 months. Please, please, please follow through with that. Don't think twice. Get away from poverty. Do something to change your life. That something can be a middleman business. It can be an investment. It can be something else. I really don't care what it is. I just hope you do something quickly. All right, I got to go. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, share the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace.